Cantos 118 to 119 are Book 2 of the Ramayana of Valmiki, translated by Ralph D. H. Griffith. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Om123. Canto 118 Anasuya's Gifts. Thus by the holy dame addressed, who banished envy from her breast, her lowly reverence Sita paid, and softly thus her answer made. No marvel, best of dames, thy speech the duties of a wife should teach. Yet I, O lady, also know due reverence to my lord to show, were he the meanest of the base, unhonored with a single grace. My husband still I never would leave, but firm through all to him would cleave. Still rather to a lord like mine, whose virtues high exalted shine, compassionate of lofty soul, with every sense in due control, true in his love of righteous mind, like a dear sire and mother kind. Even as he ever loves to treat Kaushalya with observance meet, has his behavior ever been to every other honored queen. Nay, more as son-like reverence shows the noble Rama even to those on whom the king his father set his eyes one moment to forget. Deep in my heart the words are stowed, said by the mother of my lord, when from my home I turned away, in the lone fearful woods to stray. The counsel of my mother deep, impressed upon my soul I keep, when by the fire I took my stand, and Rama clasped in his my hand, and in my bosom cherished yet, my friend's advice I never forget. Woman her holiest offering pays, when she her husband's will obeys. Good Savitri her lord obeyed, and highest saint in heaven was made, and for the self-same virtue thou hast heaven in thy possession now. And she with whom no dame could vie, now a bright goddess in the sky, sweet Rohini, the moon's dear queen, without her lord is never seen, and many a faithful wife beside, for her pure love is glorified. Thus Sita spake, soft rapture stole through Anasuya's saintly soul. Kisses on Sita's head she pressed, and thus the myrtle dame addressed. I by long rides and toils endured, rich store of merit have secured. From this my wealth will I bestow, a blessing ere I let thee go. So right and wise and true each word that from thy lips mine ears have heard. I love thee, be my pleasing task, to grant the boon that thou shalt ask. Then Sita marvelled much, and while played over her lips a gentle smile. All has been done, O saint, she cried, and naught remains to wish beside. She spake, the lady's meek reply swelled Anasuya's rapture high. Sita, she said, my gift today thy sweet contentment shall repay. Accept this precious robe to wear, of heavenly fabric rich and rare. These gems thy limbs to ornament, this precious balsam sweet of scent. O my dame, this gift of mine shall make thy limbs with beauty shine, and breathing over thy frame dispense its pure and lasting influence. This balsam on thy fair limbs spread, new radiance on thy lord shall shed, as Lakshmi's beauty lends a grace to Vishnu's own celestial face. Then Sita took the gift the dame bestowed on her in friendship's name, the balsam, gems, and robe divine, the garlands wreathed of bloomy twine, then sat her down with reverence meet at saintly Anasuya's feet. The matron rich in rites and vows turned her to Rama's myrtle spouse, and questioned us in turn to hear a pleasant tale to charm her ear. Sita, it is said that Raghu's son, thy hand meet gathered sweetest one. I fain would hear thee, lady, tell the story as it all befell. Do thou repeat each thing that passed, reviewing all from first to last. Thus spake the dame to Sita, she, replying to the devotee, Then, lady, thy attention lend, rehearse the story to the end. King Janak, just and brave and strong, who loves the right and hates the wrong, well skilled in what the law ordains, for warriors over Videha reigns. Guiding one on the plough, his hand marked out for right the sacred land, when as the ploughshare cleft the earth, child of the king, I leapt to birth. Then as the ground he smoothed and cleared, he saw me all with dust besmeared, and on the new-found babe, amazed, the ruler of Videha gazed. In childless love the monarch pressed the welcome infant to his breast. My daughter, thus he cried, is she, and as his child he cared for me. Forth from the sky was heard overhead, as it were a human voice that said, Yea, even so, great king, this child, henceforth thine own, be justly styled. Videha's monarch, virtuous-souled, rejoiced over me with joy untold, delighting in his new-won prize, the darling of his heart and eyes. To his chief queen of saintly mind, the precious treasure he consigned, and by her side she saw me grow, nurse to the love which mothers know. Then as he saw the seasons fly, and knew my marriage time was nigh, my sire was vexed with care, as sad, as one who mourns the wealth he had. Scorn on the monarch's sire must wait, from man of high and low estate, the virgin's father all despise, though Indra's peer who rules the skies. More near he saw, and still more near, the scorn that filled his soul with fear, on troubles below ocean tossed, like one whose shattered bark is lost. My father, knowing how I came, no daughter of a mortal dame, in all the regions failed to see a bridegroom meet to match with me. Each way with anxious heart he scanned, and thus at length the monarch planned. The bride's election will I hold, with every rite prescribed of old. It pleased King Barun to bestow quiver and shafts and heavenly bow upon my father's sire who reigned, when Daksha his great rite ordained. Where was the man might bend or lift, with utmost toil, that wondrous gift? Not even in dreams could mortal king strain the great bow, or draw the string. Of this tremendous bow possessed, my truthful father thus addressed the lords of many a region all, assembled at the monarch's call. Whoever this bow can manage, he, the husband of my child, shall be. The sweetest viewed with hopeless eyes that wondrous bow of mountain size. Then to my sire they bade adieu, and all with humbled hearts withdrew. At length with Vishwamitra came, this son of Raghu, dear to fame, the royal sacrifice to view. Near to my father's home he drew, his brother Lakshman by his side, Rama in deeds heroic tried. My sire with honour entertained, the saint in law of duty trained, who does in turn address the king, Rama and Lakshman here who spring from royal Dasarath's long, to see thy bow so passing strong. Before the prince's eyes was laid that marvel as the Brahman prayed. One moment on the bow he gazed, quick to the notch the string he raised. Then in the wondering people's view, the cord with mighty force he drew. Then with an awful crash as loud as thunderbolts that cleave the cloud, the bow beneath the matchless train of arms heroic snapped in twain. Thus giving purest water he, my sire, to Rama offered me. The prince the offered gift declined, till he should learn his father's mind. So horsemen swift Ayodhya sought, and back her aged monarch brought. Me then my sire to Rama gave, self-ruled, the bravest of the brave. And Urmila, the next to me, graced with all gifts most fair to see, my sire at Raghu's house allied, and gave her to be Lakshman's bride. Thus from the princes of the land Lord Rama won my maiden hand, and him exalted high above heroic chiefs I truly love. Canto 120. The Forest. When Anasuya, virtuous-souled, had heard the tale by Sita told. She kissed the lady's brow and laced her loving arms around her waist. With sweet-toned words, distinct and clear, thy pleasant tale has charmed mine ear. How the great king thy father held that maiden's joys unparalleled. But now the sun has sunk from sight, and left the world to holy night. Hark, how the leafy thickets sound, with gathering birds that twitter round. They sought their food by day, and all flock homeward when the shadows fall. See, here comes the hermit band, each with his pitcher in his hand. Fresh from the bat, their locks are wet, their coats of bark are dripping yet. Here saints their fires of worship tend, and curling wreaths of smoke ascend. Borne on the flames they mount above, dark as the brown wings of the dove. The distant trees, though well-nigh bare, gloom thickened by the evening air, and in the faint uncertain light shut the horizon from our sight. The beasts that prowl in darkness rove on every side about the grove, and the tame deer at ease reclined, their shelter near the altars find. The night over all the sky is spread with lunar stars and garlanded, and risen in his robes of light, the moon is beautifully bright. Now to thy Lord I bid thee go, thy pleasant tale has charmed me so. One thing alone I needs must pray, before me first thyself array. Here in thy heavenly raiment shine, and glad, dear love, these eyes of mine. Then like a heavenly goddess shone fair Sita with that raiment on. She bowed her to the matron's feet, then turned away her lord to meet. The hero prince with joy surveyed his Sita in her robes arrayed. As glorious to his arms she came, with love gifts of the saintly dame. She told him how the saint to show her fond affection would bestow that garland of celestial twine, those ornaments and robes divine. Then Rama's heart, nor Lakshman's less, was filled with pride and happiness, for honours high had Sita gained, which mortal dames have scarce obtained. There, honoured by each pious sage, who dwelt within the hermitage, beside his darling well content, that sacred night the hero spent. The princess, when the night had fled, farewell to all the hermits said, who gazed upon the distant shade, their lustral rites and offerings paid. The saints, who made their dwelling there, in words like these addressed the pair. O princess, monsters fierce and fell around the distant forest dwell. On blood from human veins they feed, and various forms assume at need. With savage beasts of fearful power, that human flesh and blood devour, our holy saints they rend and tear, when met alone or unaware, and eat them in their cruel joy. These chase, O Rama, or destroy. By this one path our hermits go, to fetch the fruits that yonder grow. By this, O prince, thy feet should stray, through pathless forests far away. Thus by the reverend saints addressed, and by their prayers auspicious, blessed, he left the holy crowd, his wife and brother by his side. Within the mighty wood he hid, so sinks the day-god in his pride, beneath a bank of cloud. End of Cantos 119 and 120. End of Book 2 of the Ramayana of Valmiki. Translated by Ralph T. H. Griffith.